Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Battle Through the Heavens Part 141 based on novel. So let's start. Everyone from the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe looked at each other after seeing Xiao Yan's group vanishing into the spatial crack line. None of them dared to open their mouth to stop Xiao Yan's group. Elder Huang, we going to just allow them to leave with the Dragon Phoenix origin fruit? That white-haired man clenched his teeth and spoke with a face that was extremely unwilling. Do you have any solution? Are you going to charge forward and risk your life to fight with that person? It is likely that we will not be able to hurt him even if all of us here end up dying. Huang Xian's heart was currently filled with fury. A duck that had reached his mouth had ended up flying away. Moreover, it had violently gave him 2 slaps before flying away. How could it allow him to be calm? Unexpectedly, that little girl is actually from the ancient Void Dragon tribe. If it is not for her, that Dragon Phoenix origin fruit would have been in the bag of my Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe. Fengqing clenched her silver teeth gently and said, moreover this time around, the tribe has dispatched so many experts over. If we end up returning in failure? Huang Xian inhaled a couple of deep breaths. Their strength had caused him to calm down. A moment later, his gaze turned. He suddenly turned around and walked towards the corridor. Elder Huang? Fengqing's group was startled when they saw this. Let's go, we will return to the beast spiritual barrier and shift the skeleton of the Heaven Phoenix back. We cannot return empty-handed no matter what. With these things, we can at least block the mouths of some people, regardless of whether it is useful. Huang Xian's expression was gloomy. He waved his sleeve and strided towards the corridor. Fengqing and the others behind could only follow. Those skeletons had already experienced countless number of years. It had already become waste. It was likely useless even if they were to bring it back. Old Ghost Zixing also had a dark and cold expression as he watched the members of the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe leaving quickly. His eyes stared at the spot where Xiao Yang's group had disappeared and spoke in a dense voice, Xiao Yan, just you wait. We will meet again soon. At that time, you and the Falling Star Pavilion will be completely destroyed. Old Ghost Zixing ceased remaining any longer after his vicious voice sounded. He turned his body and rushed towards the exit of the remains. The space on a mountain top that was 50 kilometers from the Bone Mountain range suddenly fluctuated. Immediately, a dark black spatial crack line suddenly appeared. Numerous figures rushed out from within it. Thank you, Elder Heiqing, for your help. Xiao Yan cupped his hands towards the strong large man and laughed after having landed his feet on the mountain top. It's nothing. Before I left, those old fellows from the tribe has instructed me to thank you for taking care of Ziyan during these years. My ancient Void Dragon tribe will return this favor to you if we have the chance. Heiqing waved his hand and said, Elder Heiqing is too polite. I view Ziyan like a younger sister. Taking care of her is something that I ought to do. Xiao Yan spoke in a solemn manner. He was unaware that the latter would have such a status when he was acquainted with Ziyan back then. At that time, he completely felt that this girl was cute and suit his taste. It was this reason that he had taken great care of her. This girl's status is a little special. She is exceptionally important to my tribe. Therefore nothing much happened to her. You are able to safely bring her to the Central Plains and allowed her to contact the tribe. This can be considered a great favor to us. Heiqing glanced at Ziyan by the side before shaking his head and said, all right, I will not talk to you about this manner. Heiqing here and Heiqing there, even I feel irritated. In any case, the ancient Void Dragon tribe will return you a favor in the future. This place is some distance away from the Bone Mountain range. At that time, all of you only need to head east and you can leave the Beast region. However, Ziyan must return with me to the tribe this time around. Why? I will not return. That place is not the least bit fun. Ziyan knitted her bent eyebrows. She shook her head as though it was some great matter. It is useless to tell me this. This time around, it is an order issued by those old fellows. They said that you have had enough fun. You have yet to complete the ancient dragon inheritance. This time around, you must complete the inheritance before you can come out. Moreover, you have currently discovered the Dragon Phoenix origin fruit. You are also needed to handle this thing. Heiqing spread his hand and said. Ziyan's small face was filled with bitterness as well as an unwillingness. With your current strength, you will only be his burden if you follow beside Xiao Yan. You might end up burdening them until something unexpected happens one day. This is not something that you are happy to see, right? He Qing smilingly said. Once you complete the inheritance, your strength will definitely soar. At that time, no one will stop you from coming out. You can come and find Xiao Yang's group and can even truly help them. Ziyan was startled when she heard this. She immediately lowered her head in a dispirited manner and said, "All right, you win. I will return with you." Xiao Yan glanced at He Qing. This fellow might appear rough, but he was also quite cunning. His words had struck directly on Ziyan's weak spot, causing her to have no choice but to summit. He Qing appeared to have sensed Xiao Yang's thoughts. He parted his mouth and smiled at him. After which, his gaze turned towards Xiongzhon and said, "This big fellow should also leave with B. Ancient Dragon Bear. Back then, it is also a tribe affiliated with our ancient Void Dragon. Follow me back and you will obtain quite a great amount of benefit." I will listen to Elder He Qing's orders." Xiongzhon rubbed his head and laughed in a silly manner. He was unable to form any resistance in front of a matured ancient Void Dragon. "In that case, we should separate here." Xiao Yan cupped his hands together and smilingly said. "Ziyan, you should train properly." Little fairy doctor rubbed Ziyan's head and smilingly said. The latter could only nod her head dispiritedly. Before I leave, I should remind you to be careful of the Hall of Soul. Currently, all of you can be considered to be enemies with them. You should be more careful. Do not allow yourself to land in their hands." He Qing nodded, hesitated for a moment and suddenly said, "My father is still in their hands. I must rescue him no matter what," Xiao Yang softly replied. He Qing was startled. He immediately nodded quietly and said, "In the case, I shall not say any more. Let's say our goodbyes here." After saying this, the space around He Qing became distorted. A spatial crack line once again appeared. "Let's go." He Qing waved his hand, turned around and entered the crack line. Xiongzhon followed closely behind. Ziyan walked at the back and watched Xiao Yang's group with some reluctance. She clenched her small hand tightly and spoke in a serious manner, "Xiao Yang, I will definitely be stronger than you the next time I come out. At that time, you will have to refine pills for me to eat every day." "Ha ha." Ziyan laughed in a lovely and silly manner towards the end. After which, she ceased remaining any longer. She turned around and walked into the spatial crack line. That crack line emitted a kite sound and swiftly disappeared after Ziyan entered the spatial crack line. Xiao Yang had some feeling of melancholy as he watched the spot where Ziyang's group had disappeared. With this little girl missing, it appeared that there would be a lot less joy around him. "Let's go. We have completed our mission successfully this time around. The soul baby fruit is in our hands. There is finally a solution to the problem of the teacher's soul." After being depressed for a moment, Xiao Yang once again braced himself. He waved his hand and laughed out loud. After which, he leaped and rushed to the mid-air, transforming into a ray of light that swiftly bolted away from the beast region. Little fairy doctor and the rest also quickly followed from behind. The gains from this trip to the ancient remains this time around had far exceeded Xiao Yang's group expectations. Not only did they successfully obtain the soul baby fruit, but they had even luckily obtained that extremely precious pill beast. If this thing was groomed properly, it would sooner or later advance into the true Tier 9 level. At that time, it would really be able to revive people, change their lives and other inconceivable magical effect. Of course, the greatest gain was naturally the 3 ribs that had been removed from the Dosheng skeleton. Those 3 ribs hid the true Tien class Do skill. However, the current Xiao Yang did not have the time to immediately decipher it. Everything can only be carefully studied once they return to the Falling Star Pavilion. Currently, they had offended the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe and the 9 Serene Deep Ground Python tribe, these 2 largest tribes within the Beast region. These factions possessed many ears and eyes within the Beast region. Hence, Xiao Yang's group did not dare to remain in this place for long. After separating with He Qing's group, they directly rushed out of the Beast region by traveling over the night. With this rapid traveling speed of theirs, they had completely left the territory of the Beast region within just a day. After leaving the area of the Beast region, Xiao Yan first thought of a way to transmit some information to Mu Qingluan's group, which was still remaining in the Beast region awaiting news. After which, he led the group and made the journey back to the Falling Star Pavilion. An elderly figure was seated on a large rock at the top of the mountain behind the falling star pavilion. The old man's figure was a little illusory. However, there was a vast and mighty spiritual pressure vaguely spreading from it. No one else within this falling star pavilion, other than Yao Lao, possessed such a mighty spiritual strength. Old fellow, I have already secretly made contact with some old demons, who have quite a good relationship with you back then. They had replied that as long as you are able to recover your strength, they will be a guest official at the falling star pavilion. A green-robed Feng Zunja laughed from behind Yao Lao. If I am able to recover my peak strength, the falling star pavilion will possess a strength that the whole of Seoul will have to take seriously. With the security guaranteed, they will naturally be willing to. Yao Lao smiled and did not feel surprise. Feng Zunja nodded slightly. He mused for a moment and said, "It has been a period of time since Xiao Yan's group has headed to the Beast region. I wonder if the soul baby fruit has been obtained. It is rumored that quite a number of experts have been attracted to the remains this time around. You can be rest assured." Yao Lao smiled faintly. He slowly opened his shut eyes and looked towards the entrance of the star realm. A slight ripple had appeared at that spot. Feng Zunja was startled when he saw Yao Lao's great confidence in Xiao Yan. Immediately, he followed the latter's eyes and looked over, only to see that the space there was slowly being opened. A couple of familiar figures were slowly walking in. From the looks of it, it was Xiao Yan's group, who had returned to the Falling Star Pavilion in a tired manner. "Old fellow, congratulations. Your hope is about to be fulfilled." Feng Zunja smiled a little. He softly spoke in an envious voice, "You have found a good disciple." Xiao Yan's body slowly landed on the top of the back mountain. He looked at Yao Lao, who was seated on a large stone and smiling at him. Cupping his hands together, he said, "We have fulfilled our expectations." Feng Zunja by the side involuntarily let out a heavy sigh when he heard these words of Xiao Yan. He lifted a thumb towards Xiao Yan and laughed, "Good. Are you all right?" Yao Lao smilingly inquired. "It can be summarized to have been full of surprises but no danger." Xiao Yan spread his hand and summarized the matter within the remains. "It is the whole of Seoul again." Yao Lao nodded slightly. A chillness surged within his eyes. Xiao Yan smiled. He flicked his finger and a wooden box appeared in his hand. After which, the wooden box was suspended in the sky before gently landing in front of Yao Lao. It was automatically opened. Golden light shot out of it before revealing that baby-like golden fruit within the box. It is indeed the soul baby fruit. Moreover, it is the best quality golden grade soul baby fruit. Even with Yao Lao's calmness, his eyes involuntarily displayed some joy when he saw this golden fruit. Xiao Yan smiled and nodded. The soul baby fruit had two grades. They were the silver grade soul baby fruit and the golden grade soul baby fruit. The former was of a lower quality while the latter had a stronger medicinal effect. The soul baby fruit that Xiao Yan had found within the ancient forest was the latter type. With this golden grade soul baby fruit, it is likely that all of the essence spiritual aura that you have exhausted will be completely replenished. Feng Zunja fondled his beard and laughed. "Teacher, you should undertake a retreat today and try to replenish your essence spiritual aura as quickly as you can. That way, we can begin to refine a body," Xiao Yan said. Yao Lao nodded slightly. His eyes looked towards Xiao Yan before he spoke softly, "Little fellow, do you miss your father?" Xiao Yan was startled when he heard Yao Lao suddenly speaking about this manner. Immediately, he became silent. He pressed his lips tightly and a deep guilt was present within his eyes. Xiao Shan was his father. The same bloodline flowed within their bones. The latter doted on him greatly when he was young. Even during the time when he was at the lowest point of his life, that love did not diminish because of any reason. This was because they were father and son. The two simple words represented a blood relation that nothing could remove. If he counted the time that his father had fallen into the hands of the Hall of Soul was even longer than Yao Lao being here. When his father was captured back then, Xiao Yan was merely a tender youth, who charged up the misty cloud mountain with his stomach filled with anger. Xiao Shan had a great expectation for Xiao Yan since the latter was young. He ultimately believed that Xiao Yan would change the Xiao clan and allow this clan, which was continuously declining, to truly become powerful. The current Xiao Yan had already become a renowned top-tier expert in the Central Plains. With his Dozun class strength, it was sufficient for him to become a legendary-like existence within the Jiomar Empire. From a certain point of view, it appeared that he had reached the expectations Xiao Shan had of him back then. Unfortunately, the latter was unable to see his son's soaring moment. I will rescue my father. This is my promise to elder brother and second brother. I do not have the face to return and see them if I cannot rescue father, Xiao Yan softly said. His voice was a little hoarse. This large mountain known as the Hall of Soul had been pressing on his shoulders since he was a tender youth. Fortunately, it did not cause him to collapse. Instead, he had grown rapidly under this kind of pressure until he had reached this stage today. Teacher will help you, even if the price is this old life of mine. Yao Lao gently patted Xiao Yan's shoulder and laughed. If your father is aware that the little boy back then had already become an independent expert, it is likely that he will be very happy. Xiao Yan smiled. He blinked his eyes and endured the somewhat sour feeling. He immediately asked, is teacher aware of where father is being imprisoned in the Central Plains? It is not anywhere in the Central Plains. Yao Lao shook his head and said. Xiao Yan was startled when he heard this. He frowned and asked, what do you mean? I am also uncertain why the Hall of Soul values your father so greatly. I can only guess that it should be because of the ancient jade that is with you. Yao Lao knitted his brows slightly and said, the Gu clan has the Gu realm while the strength and foundation of the Hall of Soul is not inferior to the Gu clan. Teacher, you mean, the Hall of Soul can also create their own realm? Xiao Yan was slightly startled as he said. Soul realm, Yao Lao nodded gently and replied softly, however, those experts who are aware of the Soul realm are only a few even in the Central Plains. As for the entrance to the Soul realm, even I am not aware of it. My father has been imprisoned in the Soul realm? Xiao Yan demanded in a deep voice. Yes. The fist under Xiao Yan's sleeves tightened slightly. His finger gently rubbed his storage ring. An ancient jade with an ancient aura quietly appeared in his hand. Shi ancient god's jade, the target of the Hall of Soul. However, was unable to sense just what use this thing was after having possessed it for so many years. Other than when he was training deep under the tower of the Jianan Academy back then when this ancient jade showed some unusual activity, it had never appeared for a second time even after so many years. The Hall of Soul faction is huge and mysterious. Based on my investigation, it is rumored that the Hall of Soul had another name a long time ago. Yao Lao narrowed his eyes slightly and softly said. Hun Clan. Hun Clan? The hand, which Xiao Yan was using to hold the ancient jade, trembled. He said, could it have been passed down from the ancient times just like the Gu clan? I am not too certain about this, however, that little girlfriend of yours might be aware of some news. Yao Lao shook his head and sighed. The more he came into contact with the Hall of Soul, the more he sensed the mysteriousness and unusualness of this faction that was intertwined across the continent. Zanaha, Xiao Yan nodded slightly. I can only tell you this much. However, regardless of how the relationship between you and the Hall of Soul will become, teacher will ultimately stand behind you even if I have to stake this old life of mine. Yao Lao smiled slightly. He patted Xiao Yan's shoulders. After which, he held the wooden box, placed his hands behind him and slowly walked down the mountain. Xiao Yan smiled as he watched Yao Lao's and Feng Zhang's back. He inhaled a deep breath and looked towards the sky. A determination gradually surged up his face. Father, regardless of how powerful the Hall of Soul is, I will still rescue you. Wait for me. Yao Lao chose to quickly undertake a retreat after having obtained the Soul Baby fruit. Only if his essence spiritual aura was replenished would he be able to truly regain his peak strength. Moreover, he might even possess the potential and hope of advancing to the Doshan class in the future. After Yao Lao undertook a retreat, Xiao Yan group had first rested for a couple of days. Mu Qingluan and the others had hurriedly rushed back to the Falling Star Pavilion during these few days. They heaved a sigh of relief when they heard that the mission was successful. After resting for a couple of days and regaining his peak strength, Xiao Yan once again had a headache. This time around, his headache was due to the poison within Qing Lin's body. The Emperor Python heart-eroding poison was an extremely famous poison on the Central Plains. This type of poison was rumored to be without antidote. However, Xiao Yan had also said that there was no poison without an antidote in this world. It was just that the antidote had not been found. Due to this, he had buried his head in the many medicine books that Yao Lao had left behind. He had even borrowed the 7-colored poison book that little fairy doctor had obtained back then to study. Although this lethal poison gave him a headache, it was fortunate that the heavens rewarded those who put in the effort. After searching for 4 to 5 days in this complete darkness, Xiao Yan had finally groped a method to remove the poison. There was a quiet and cool mountain cave in the back mountain of the Falling Star Pavilion. At the middle of the cave was a small pool that was built with stones. At this moment, clear water was bubbling within the pool. It appeared as though the pool was boiling. Xiao Yan would occasionally take out some medicinal powder or liquid as he stood by the side of the pool. After which, he would pour them into the pool. The clear water within the pool had gradually turned into a pale red color. Only then did he stop. He flipped his hand and a small jade bottle flashed and appeared. The interior of the jade bottle contained a rich substance like pure energy. Seeing this jade bottle, the snow-white small beast in Xiao Yan's chest immediately let out a groan. Currently, the expression of the little beast was extremely sluggish. Even its fur had become paler. It caused one to feel a heartache when looking at it. Rest assured that I will compensate you after this. Xiao Yan laughed bitterly. He took out a couple of pills from his storage ring and stuffed them into the mouth of the pill beast. Only then did the latter recover a little. Xiao Yan sighed in relief when he saw this. He had really spent a great effort in order to get this fellow to contribute some blood. The jade bottle was tilted and the silver liquid slowly dripped downwards. Finally, it landed in the pool. Immediately, an ear-piercing sizzling sound was emitted. After the liquid was dripped into it, a wave of extremely pure energy ripple immediately spread out from within the pool. Qing Lin, remove your clothes and enter the pool. If you can absorb all of these energy, it should be able to completely stabilize your strength at the Dozan class. Xiao Yan kept the jade bottle, turned his head and smilingly spoke to Qing Lin by the side. Qing Lin was initially startled when she heard this. A bright redness immediately surfaced on her face. I understand, Xiao Yan also smiled when he saw this manner of hers. He turned around and said, due to the need to always add various medicinal powder, I'm afraid that I cannot leave. Yes? Qin Ling's face was red as she acknowledged in an ant-like voice. After which, she quickly removed her clothes. With a splash, she had leaped into the small pool in an agile manner. Xiao Yan turned his head only after hearing the sound was water splashing. His gaze looked towards the pool, only to see Qin Ling revealing only her head above the water. Her long hair became wet and adhered onto her face, adding an alluring enchantment to her. Enter your training state and absorb the medicinal strength within the pool. Xiao Yan spoke gently. The embarrassment and anxiety in Qin Ling's heart gradually weakened a little when she heard this soft and gentle voice of Xiao Yan. She stabilized her mind as she shut both of her eyes and slowly entered into her training mode. Xiao Yan smiled slightly when he saw Qin Ling successfully entering her training state. He was just about to get up when his eyes suddenly landed on the smooth back that Qin Ling exposed over the surface of the water. When the water fog of the pool rose, a mysterious tattoo also vaguely appeared on her back. This tattoo appeared just like an entrenched large python if one was to look at it carefully. However, this large python appeared to possess 9 heads. During the time that Xiao Yan was observing the mysterious tattoo in a stunned manner, the shut snake eyes of one head of the 9-headed snake were suddenly opened at this moment. Immediately, a brutal feeling surged within Xiao Yan's heart without forewarning, causing his eyes to immediately turn blood red. Xiao Yan became cautious after the brutalness appeared for an instant. His body swiftly pulled back and his eyes also hurriedly turned away from that tattoo. Xiao Yan's eyes gradually recovered to normal after shifting his eyes away. He gently swallowed a mouthful of saliva. His heart was filled with shock. Why was there such a ferocious thing on Qing Lin's body? Xiao Yan finally sighed in relief as the gradual disappearance of the brutal feeling within his heart. He hesitated for a moment before his eyes once again carefully turned towards Qing Lin's back. This time, however, he was much more careful. He locked his mind and a purple-brown flame slowly spread from within his body. The mysterious tattoo on Qing Lin's smooth back within the faint hot fog of the pool also became partially visible. The snake eyes of the 9-headed snake were once again shut. Hence, the kind of unexpected change from earlier did not appear once again. Xiao Yan knitted his brows slightly. He focused intently on the mysterious tattoo. The tattoo should be quite big as only a portion of the 9-headed snake's body was revealed above the surface of the water. Clearly, its curled body was still under the water. Xiao Yan focused on this mysterious 9-headed snake. His heart felt quite lost. He had never heard of a magical beast of such a shape in this current continent. Moreover, from the fierce aura that seemed to spread from this magical beast that caused him to be without any defense when he was caught off guard, it was obvious that this was not an ordinary magical beast. This thing, just what exactly it is? Xiao Yan knitted his brows tightly. However, he was still at a loss a moment later. This strange shape, even a 9 serene deep-ground python did not look like this, no? Xiao Yan could only helplessly shake his head and suppress his doubt within his heart after thinking for a long time in a futile manner. When Qing Lin wakes up, he could ask her. She should be aware of the exact situation. This thought flashed across Xiao Yan's heart and he also ceased these futile thoughts. He glanced at the color within the pool and once again took out a small jade bottle from his storage ring. He poured out some pale red liquid from within. Attempting to completely remove the Emperor Python heart-eroding poison from Qing Lin's body involved quite a complicated process. Fortunately, Xiao Yan was currently considered a true alchemist guru. Should it be someone else, it was likely that the person might really not possess the ability to help Qing Lin remove the poison. Although Xiao Yan was clearly aware that attempting to get rid of the Emperor Python heart-eroding poison was extremely troublesome and time-exhausting, he did not expect that he would spend 4 days. Xiao Yan had remained within the cave during these 4 days. The number of medicinal ingredients that had been thrown into the pool had numbered to over a couple hundred. A frighteningly pure energy permeated the pool. Finally, even the fog itself became viscous. Although time and medicinal ingredients were greatly exhausted, Qing Lin's expression had become increasingly lively under the hot rising energy fog. The slight black vapor that remained between one's brows had also gradually scattered. All of these indicated that the Emperor Python heart-eroding poison within her body was swiftly being removed. During these few days that Xiao Yan had taken care of the poison removal within Qing Lin's body, Xiao Yan had also paid attention to the mysterious tattoo on her back. After a couple of days of observation, he discovered that there seemed to be an increasing amount of energy being poured into Qing Lin's body. That mysterious 9-headed snake tattoo had also become increasingly clear. Even the snake eyes of the 9 heads had slowly opened a little. It was this slight opening of the snake eyes that would cause Xiao Yan to unwittingly sense a trace of violence being spread within his heart. Fortunately, his mental strength was strong and he could ignore the effects of the unusual 9-headed snake. After experiencing these changes, Xiao Yan also became increasingly curious towards the mysterious tattoo. This thing ought to be something from the ancient times. However, it was likely that the current Doqi continent no longer had such a magical beast. Otherwise, Xiao Yan would definitely have at least heard something about it. While Xiao Yan was curious, he also understood that the most important thing was to resolve the poison within Qing Lin's body first. Hence, he calmed his heart and continued to wait. This kind of bitter care continued for 3 days more before those eyes of Qing Lin, which had been shut for 7 days, finally showed some activity. The faint red pool water continued to emit water bubbles within the pool. Hot air rose and one could vaguely see a lovely graceful figure. During these 10 years, the little girl from back then had already become a vibrant and alluring person. Xiao Yan sat on a rock beside the pool. His shut eyes were also slowly opened. He could sense that a slight unusual activity had appeared within the pool at this moment. Is it about to complete? Xiao Yan softly muttered to himself. He suddenly heard a splashing water sound being emitted from the pool. Immediately, he became stunned and was just about to stand up when the entire cave suddenly shook intensely. What happened? Xiao Yan's expression changed slightly. He hurriedly stood up and his eyes paused on the pool that was covered by fog. The activity was emitted from that spot. Xiao Yan narrowed his eyes. He stared intently at the interior of the pool. There seemed to be an enormous outline that was vaguely visible within the fog. Xiao Yan frowned slightly as he sensed this kind of unusual change. The Doqi within his body was circulated rapidly. The spreading energy fog suddenly wiggled when the Doqi was being circulated within Xiao Yan's body. Immediately, a head-sized strange eye appeared out of nowhere. 3 small dots were enlarged within the eye that was filled with green light. Finally, they transformed into 3 demonic-like emerald flowers that surrounded the eyes and rotated rapidly. Triple jade green snake flower pupils. Xiao Yan's heart tightened immediately upon seeing the appearance of the demonic eye. His body suddenly rushed backward in a reflex-like action. Xiao Yan's body had just pulled back when that demonic eye suddenly exploded. An enormous figure rushed out from within the pool. It pounced towards Xiao Yan with lightning-like speed. Xiao Yan immediately inhaled a breath of cold air as he looked at the enormous figure that pounced over. It was an enormous snake that possessed 9 savage snake heads. The body of the snake head was dark red in color. It was just like fresh blood that had been sediment for a countless number of years. At a glance, a ferocious aura that was difficult to describe spread out from it. The enormous snake shook its 9 ferocious heads. The 18 demonic eyes of the snake head had actually become blood red in color at this moment. Moreover, the most mysterious thing was that the interior of these blood red eyes was actually the same as the triple jade green snake flower pupils that Qing Lin used. Xiao Yan focused intently on the 9-headed snake that charged over explosively towards him. His eyes flicked. A moment later, he suddenly cried out sternly when the snake was about to pounce onto his body, "Qing Lin." This cry of Xiao Yan was accompanied by Do Qi. It was just like a thunder that exploded within the cave, causing the cave to shake violently. The enormous body of the 9-headed snake also trembled under this cry. A struggling expression suddenly surfaced within its blood-red eyes. A moment later, the blood redness actually rapidly faded. An emerald green color slowly recovered. Following the appearance of that jade green color, the enormous body of the 9-head snake suddenly erupted into a wave of powerful glow. Its body also shrunk rapidly. Immediately, it transformed into a small body that violently fell from the mid-air. Xiao Yan's body flashed when he saw Qing Lin's body falling. He grabbed the tiny waist of Qing Lin. That soft boneless feeling caused his heart to fluctuate a little. He hurriedly calmed his mind before looking at Qing Lin, who was awakening in a lost manner, and said, "Are you all right?" Qing Lin, who was slowly opening her eyes, looked at Xiao Yan, who was within close proximity. She was initially startled. The feeling that was transmitted from her body caused her face to redden with a thump sound. She hurriedly escaped from Xiao Yang's hand and hid behind a stone pillar with a flash. Xiao Yan involuntarily rubbed his nose when he heard the shuffling sound that was emitted from behind the stone pillar. He felt a little embarrassed. Only after Qing Lin wore her clothes did she walk out from behind the stone pillar with a reddened face. Xiao Yan coughed dryly when he saw her fiery red earlobes. He hurriedly asked with a serious expression, "What happened back then?" "That thing." Qing Lin was startled when she heard this. Immediately, she crossed her small hands together and spoke timidly, "That is the soul of the ancient heaven serpent." Ancient heaven serpent? Xiao Yan was stunned. He had heard of the ancient heaven serpent. It was rumored that this was one of the ancient snake magical beast ancestors. It possessed the ability to destroy the world. It was rumored that it was a magical beast that could be considered on the same level as the ancient heaven phoenix. However, the number of this ancient heaven serpent was smaller than even the heaven phoenix. Hence, it had been extinct since the ancient times. There was even less need to mention about it now. That is not right. I remember that the ancient books do not mention that this ancient heaven serpent possesses 9 heads. This is a mutated ancient heaven serpent. I am also unaware of why it is like this. When I have arrived at the Central Plains back then, I had accidentally entered an ancient mountain range and found the skeleton of an ancient heaven serpent. In my curiosity, I end up using the triple jade green snake flower pupils. How could I expect that I would actually summon a spiritual body? Qing Lin's small face was bitter as she said, "It is very difficult to tame this thing. It does not listen to me even though I have used the triple jade green snake flower pupils. At times, it will come out and cause trouble. Fortunately, with the increase in my strength, the resistance of this thing is also becoming increasingly weak. It is likely that I will easily be able to control it very soon." Xiao Yan's face was stunned. Controlling a mutated ancient heaven serpent? This thing, it was an existence that was comparable to the ancient heaven phoenix. Should it grow in the future, it would even be able to fight against an elite Dosheng. Didn't you say that your triple jade green snake flower pupils is unable to control those snake-formed magical beasts that possess an ancient bloodline? If this ancient heaven serpent possessed a body, I will indeed be unable to control it. However, this fellow is merely a spirit. Moreover, it is not that I have taken the initiative to control it. Instead, it wishes to stay on me. Qing Lin spoke helplessly. There are only 2 types of top-tier snake-formed magical beast that truly possess a royal bloodline during the ancient times. One is the ancient heaven serpent while the other is the heaven-swallowing python. The current 9 serene deep-ground python is merely their descendants. Heaven-swallowing python? Xiao Yan lifted his eyebrows almost immediately when he heard this name. He seemed to remember that after Cai Lin's evolution, she appeared to be a 7-colored heaven-swallowing python. The poison within your body should have been resolved, right? Xiao Yan shook his head, glanced at Qing Lin and asked. Qing Lin nodded. She smilingly said, "Currently, my strength has also reached that of a 1-star Do Sun. If I use the triple jade green snake flower pupils, it is likely that I would be able to control a snake form magical beast that has reached the strength of a 4-star Dozun. Xiao Yan involuntarily shook his head helplessly when he heard this. This girl's triple jade green snake flower pupils was indeed too frightening. Even without mentioning its ability to control snake form magical beast, just smoothly controlling that ancient heaven serpent spirit alone in the future would definitely greatly strengthen her fighting strength. Since the poison has been resolved, let's leave. Xiao Yan waved his hand. He turned his body and walked towards the exit of the cave. Since Qing Lin's problem was resolved, it should be time to begin refining a body for Yao Lao. This video will end here.